just don't understand who Vonda Bell is. Let me tell y'all something. Between the two people that have stepped up to help me with today's conversation, it's gonna be something special. Some magic is gonna happen. You just happen to sit in on the right Monday night. I'm gonna be quiet for a second, but I can't help it. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. All right, Vonda, you got it.
Ready? All right. All right. Good evening, guys. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here with us on a Monday night. You guys could have been anywhere else and you're here with us. Super excited because this business changed my life. Now, a little bit about me. I've been teaching for 20 years, to be honest, but before I got married, had kids, I wanted to go on shopping sprees. I traveled. Every 2 years, Bernard, I had to buy a new whip. Spending money, wasn't thinking about retirement, you name it, guys. I just didn't have a plan for my money. So when I found out about MWR Financial, I was able to get the experts to help me with strategies. And now I look forward to the future because I'm no longer living check to check. I'm not going to easy money anymore because some people, that borrow from Peter to pay Paul, that was me. Yes, when I was first started going to easy money, I was Mrs. Bell, but I guess the frequency picked up. So when I walked in, they started calling me by my first name. Hey, Vonda. So I knew then, Richard, I needed solutions. So this business, I went to college, got a good job. You know, they tell you go to college, get a good job. I did all that. But guys, I had more month than money. And when I tell you getting paid once a month and not being able to budget my money, it, slowly it caught up with me. So when I found out there were some experts who could increase my cash flow, eliminate my debt, taxes, and expenses, I was super excited to jump on board. So tonight, we're glad to be here. Richard, that's my dude. That's my dude. So I think, are we doing a 4, 3, 1 countdown to financial freedom tonight?
We are. So here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to teach. We're going to educate. And then if what we teach makes sense to people, they'll do something different. Okay. And here's what we know. If you learn something different and can do something different, you get different results. And so like Vonda, one of the best things that I have in my career with this movement is just the understanding of how far I've come from where I was. Because like Vonda, same deal. As a matter of fact, if y'all are out there and your cameras are available, come on camera so that we can see your eyes, but also so you can see ours and see the sincerity of having had a formula that did not work. Meaning we were all taught, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a good job with benefits and live happily ever after. And like Vonda, I did those same things. I got the best grades in my school. Now, I went to a small school, class of 635 people in Atlanta, Georgia, Frederick Douglass High School, Center for Engineering and Applied Technology. And I did what they said. I got the best grades from my 8th grade to my senior year. I got those grades that they get you called outside your given name. How many of you had somebody that you were wrong? What they called it? What'd you call that kid at your school? Nerd, bookworm, they called me all of those things, but on the last day, they called me the valedictorian. So that meant that I knew that I'd mastered the content that they expected me to learn from the Atlanta public school system. Got an academic scholarship to Duke University. And at Duke, I was a double major. I double majored in electrical engineering and computer science. And the blessing is I have the experience. I can be one of those people that say to you, I was at the right place at the right time, meaning I got out into the world of technology in the right time for my income to rapidly grow from a starting salary to 6 figures. And I got a rude awakening when I finally anybody ever get the dream job and realize you were living the American nightmare? Meaning I was over here climbing the corporate ladder, but realized it was leaning up against the wrong building. And more importantly, the money that I thought I would make wasn't enough. Meaning my wife and I, we got married, we started having kids, and by the Lord Jesus, I think kids get more expensive every time they breathe.
Yes.
And so I found myself in that difficult position where, can anybody relate to this feeling? Your check comes in by direct deposit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then by the time you pay your bills, there's not necessarily enough money to get some cash out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then, so that's just check to check. But then have you ever gotten a check and then you'd allocated that whole check and the next check, so it was check behind the check?
Yes.
Well, here's what I want you to know. That's not entirely your fault, because I was looking around at my wife and all 3 of them like, I know y'all did it, but here's what's surprising. If you've ever found yourself check to check or check behind the check, it's systematic. Meaning we were educated in a way that's designed to produce an addiction to a paycheck.
Wow.
Write that in your notes. Your income is making somebody wealthy.
That's right.
Tonight you get to decide whether you want that person to be you. So as Vonda and I, along with some friends, because I think my friend Bernard Ponder also stepped up to help us out with today's conversation.
Awesome.
We're going to do a conversation called the 4-3-2-1. Now, here's something that they did not give us at Duke University or Douglas High School. I call it a cheat sheet. I put a cheat sheet in the link in the chat. How many of you got a link to a document that's a PDF? This is my notes for today. So this is how you know where I'm starting and where we intend to finish before this evening. But now here's the guarantee that goes with that cheat sheet. It's the blueprint for how you reverse the curse. Meaning up until now, we've been taught systematically for people to take our money from us on a monthly basis and for us to work, pay bills, and die. Like there wasn't a choice in that scenario for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share the document. And here's what I want you to do. If you haven't had a chance to print the document out, just get a blank piece of paper and count down 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to talk about the 4 challenges that most Americans face in what we call quiet desperation. We're going to talk about 3 solutions, the 2 goals that no matter what you think at the end of this conversation that your money has to do, and the 1 company that we found that helps people overcome those challenges to shift their income back to its original owner. Now, who's the original owner of the money? Everybody tap yourself right here. It's you. This is all. So if you got on here nervous about, well, what's my friend trying to get me into, what they trying to talk me into? We're just trying to get you your money.
Always learn something.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me share my screen right now. Let me know when you can see my screen on your end. Does that make sense? Can you see me now?
Yes.
What is my role?
So hang on, not there. Let's start here. Let's start right here. This is document. We're gonna start at the top. Now, Vonda, I want you, because here's what I want y'all to know about Vonda. She's already a teacher. She spends her days teaching the little people how to do the basic functions of life. She's a 3rd grade educator in Alabama schools. But what we found out is that adults are just children with long legs.
Yes,
and
sir.
so we go through this countdown. We're going to talk about the 4 challenges. Vonda, I want you to share the 4 challenges.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the 3 solutions. I'm going to bring my partner Bernard Ponder in to talk to you about the financial edge that we give to people in lieu of the education that we did not get. And then I'm gonna talk about how we accelerate the pace. So 4, 3, 2, 1, between the 3 of us, we're gonna get it done. Let's go. So Vonda, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm gonna click the slides when you say click.
All right. Super excited, guys. Man, I'm glad to be here. It's been a crazy day with the Zoom of 28 kids on camera, scratching, digging, and spinning in chairs. So guys, we talked about the 4 challenges. The first one we're gonna talk about is inflation. And most of you guys know we call that the silent income killer. We say that because sometimes we don't really notice inflation going up. If you think about it, Netflix started $8 a month, and now Netflix is about $14. So even at the grocery store, I went earlier. Normally I could go in and I'm coming up the buggy. Tonight I grabbed two bags. My son grabbed 2 bags and I had 1. So the money's always changing with our goods and services, our food, internet, cable, even the hair salon. I went there for 1 service and I left. I paid an additional $15. They're sending us back to the classroom, Richard, and I've been trying to buy cleaning products and Lysol. Guys, what I paid $4 for before with Lysol, I'm ordering Lysol online now for $15 to $20. So inflation is, your dollar's losing its value, because business owners, they're going to take the price of their goods and services up, at will when they're ready. But think about it. What do we do to outpace inflation? So inflation is a silent income killer. Your dollar's losing its value. Business owners, they take the prices of goods and services up. And guess what? And even now with the social distance, man, coronavirus, no one was prepared for that. And the prices we saw in March, if you go to the store now, you will not see it at the gas station, grocery store, hair salons, you name it. So, the restaurants, normally I go to Longhorns, order me a salad, $7, $8. I paid $15 for a salad last week. So I know for certain that the silent income killer is true, Richard. Inflation is tearing me up. Number two, we have taxes. Now, most of you, when you look at your paycheck, you see your net and your gross amount. And think about it. Sometimes that net looks gross, doesn't it? Because before you get your check, they take the first 1/3. For years, Earl, I had no idea that money belonged to me. So if you notice taxes, it's the Chainsaw Massacre. It's the first 1/3. It's also our largest expense. I know most of us think it's our children, but really it's not. It's our taxes. Think about, we pay income taxes, property sales. I mean, everything we do, guys, when you buy your house, when you try to get a loan, when you're closing. So it's crazy. And think about it, under taxes also, guys, we have the stimulus checks. Now, we were all excited when that money came out, yes, but guess what? We have to pay that money back. So taxes is number two as the Chainsaw Massacre. We also have number three. The reason we're in debt, guys, because guess what? Inflation is going up, taking our money, our dollars losing its value, and then taxes comes along and take the first 1/3. Guys, guess what? If my check is not enough to balance me and get me through the month, what will I do? I'll go out, I hit easy money. I'll use my credit card. So you use the second 1/3 of your money. It also says your second largest income. Interest works forever. And that's one thing about it, guys. Shaving 17 years off my home, my mortgage, that's going to save me a lot of interest. You also notice we have high unemployment. The rates I think they're the highest they've ever been, guys, to be honest. So that is a family curse, because think about it. I mean, for my mom, God rest her soul, but she would always tell me when I was traveling, shopping on those sprees and buying new cars, girl, don't worry, you're going to always owe somebody. So I see her mama saying it to this day, but thank God for the experts. They kind of overruling that voice right now. And our challenge number 4, guys, we already know it is big business. And each month, that's the money trap. Each month, Richard, we have a holiday. This month we're celebrating what? Halloween.
Yep.
That's one of the largest holidays. I mean, I can't get in the store now without pumpkins and Christmas trees on the same aisle almost. Okay. Right. November, we have Thanksgiving. Now, years ago, we were able to sit at the table and enjoy dinner with our families. But now we're doing what?
Round Thursday.
Round Thursday. Black Friday. Cyber Monday. We're all over the place. And like Sean says, we're not knocking people out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So now we're just shopping online. Okay. That's November. Then on Christmas, guys, we have Christmas in December. January, we turn up for New Year's. Nobody really celebrate Dr. King, but I still turn up for Dr. King's holiday. Grandma called him Dr. King. Right. And February, guys, some men say it's not a holiday, but for real, Valentine's Day is a holiday. Mm-hmm. March, we have what? Spring break, okay? I see you know. In April, guys, what do we have? We have Easter. Now, that is my favorite holiday. May, we have Mother's Day. In June, we have Father's Day and Mrs. Bell's birthday. And then July, we have 4th of July. September, we have Labor Day. We celebrate people going to work. And once again, guys, we're back in October. Let's not talk about the baby showers or the graduations or the weddings that we attend. So big business, we call that the money trap. It takes the 1/3 of your check. Now, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, guys, that's all about money, okay? But each money, we're celebrating something. And to me, you shouldn't have to buy large, extravagant gifts to say, I love you. That's just me. So, and we have the 401ks. You guys know the stock market crash. Those 401ks became what, Richard?
911K.
They came 911. So everything is still decreasing. But you know what, guys? We're not here tonight on a Monday night with doom and gloom, because we have 4 challenges, but we also have 3 financial solutions.
Okay, and I'll jump in, because here's what I want you to know. Because this is what most people don't learn when it comes to finance. As a matter of fact, if you think about each one of these institutions, there's a flaw in your education when you learn what you need to do from the person that profits from it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we're going to undo some negative programming. We're going to talk about income shifting. If you're taking notes, write that down. If you're not taking notes, start taking notes so you can write that down. Because income shifting is a set of strategies designed to get you your money back. I know there's some people, everybody gets on the line. Like when your friend invites you to something, people are like, is this some kind of scheme, scam, something to get? No, the scam has already happened. We're on a mission to help the people that we love, know, and care about get the money back from the people that shifted it away from them. And within income shifting, there's 3 strategies. We're going to talk about cash flow management. We're going to talk about business income, and most importantly, we're going to talk about investment income so that we can reverse the curse. Because here's the reality. If you think about all the challenges that Ms. Vonda Bell talked about already, how many of you know those are already pains that we have in common? It was just up until I knew these solutions, I didn't know what to do about them.
Right.
But after today, this is the only thing I'm gonna take away from you today. I'm gonna take away the excuse. It's not gonna be after today that you come back and say, I didn't know, because you'll know today. But here's what happens. The first thing that we gotta do is understand that in America, what's more important than how much money you make is how you make your money. Because think about it, if your only source of income is a job, number one, that's risky. Number two, that's out of your control. And number three, you're taxed 28 to 33% up front.
Yes,
That
sir.
means, but now if you own a business, you're taxed 18 to 23%.
Right.
Lower rate. And then if you're an investor, right? Understand this. Making money has always been the lowest tax form of income in the world. And that's why when they say the rich get richer, it's perpetually true. It's not just true today. It's always been that way.
Yes.
And so the question's got to be, first, we got to shift our income back. But second, we've got to start shifting our sources of income so that we have some money making money. But I know what you're saying, Richard, how am I gonna get my money making some money if I don't have enough money to get from check to check? Well, the first thing we do is with cash flow management, we start reversing the formula when it comes to taxation. Because think about this. If you got a W-2, and that means at the end of the year, they send you a summary of everything that you've paid. The formula is I work, I'm taxed, I get sent home to spend what's left. If you own a business, the business works. The business gets to spend money and gets taxed on what's left. Now, point in point, let's talk about what this means, because you've been hearing it all along. You just hadn't had a practical way to apply it. But think about this. Amazon created a trillionaire during the pandemic. Y'all know Jeff Bezos is now a trillionaire.
Yes.
Do you know that his company didn't pay income taxes? They didn't show a profit until 2018.
Crazy.
They spent all their money investing in land and buildings and Mercedes-Benz vans to drive up and down the street.
Right.
And then our president, I'm sorry, somebody named number 45.
45.
That's about everybody on this Zoom, right? He owns a business. He just gets taxed differently. So here's what we do. Once we understand, because just put this in perspective, imagine if just on this call, you had 3 people earning $100,000. So let's say, Vonda, you worked, and now they finally pay teachers what they're worth. So you made $100,000 as an educator.
My God.
Glory.
Hallelujah.
Then Earl owns a business. He made $100,000 in. Hang on, let me put y'all in regular size so I can see y'all in your eyeballs. Where is my controls?
Oh, thank you, Morgan. She said teachers deserve it.
So Vonda as a teacher makes $100,000. Earl as a business owner makes $100,000 in his business. And then who's next up? Oh, there's Bernard Ponder right there. He's an investor.
You know.
His investments made $100,000. Now, just understanding the American formula, because I want you to see what happens even if you got a high income. If you made $100,000 as an educator, that means $33,000 minimum came off the top. You get sent home with $67,000. You paid. Check this out. It's even deeper. Do you know that your employer has a matching component? Meaning whatever they take out of your check, the employer sends a match to the IRS. So the employer made 2/3 and you brought home 2/3. The IRS makes as much money from our jobs as we do.
Right. Government employees.
Right? But now the second case, we got Earl. Earl made $100,000 in business. But because Earl has a home-based business, a portion of his lifestyle is wrapped up in that business. So things that Earl was going to pay anyway, like his mortgage, his internet, his cell phone, his mileage, his meals, all those things are written off. So instead of getting taxed 18% on 100,000, he gets taxed 18% off 50,000. He's getting taxed on what's left. So instead of paying the 33,000, Earl ends up paying 12,000.
Awesome.
But
Love
I mean,
is hard.
let me remind you, Vonda worked hard, Earl worked hard, but Bernard had money making money.
Mhm.
Bernard's money went out and made $100,000. That money got to work, it got reinvested, and it doesn't get taxed until he sacrificed the investment. So instead of instead of Bernard getting up early, working hard, Bernard got up at the crack of noon. He was meditating
Crack of noon.
with his daughter,
That before.
and the money kept going. So this is what we got to do. We got to put ourselves in, because people will look at that and say that ain't fair. How many of you say that ain't fair? But my
Rick.
mentor hurt my feelings one time. He said, Rick, that is fair.
That's very rich.
That's the way they choose to make money.
Right.
So if we want to have different results, how many of you understand we got to do different things?
Okay.
So the first thing we focus on is cash flow expansion. Now, I was one of those people that was under a misconception. I thought cash flow and income were the same thing. How many of you had the same misconception?
Mhm.
Here's what I want you to know. Write this down. Don't ever forget this, because this is the most important thing we do. More important than how much money the people on this line are making, how much money we get to make, is what our cash flow is. Because income is a measure of amount. Cash flow is a measure of time. So if you got $1 million income, that's a sky high income, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But if your bills are $2 million, then your cash flows half a period short. You're still check to check. You're still broke on a higher broke level.
Facts.
But if you got an $80,000 income and only $40,000 in bills, your cash flows 2 periods. You have more than enough for your time of need so that you can put some money to work doing something different than just getting you to the next check. Does that make
Right.
sense? So the first
Right.
thing that we do for everybody that we come in contact with, we get aggressive about trying to help them improve and expand their cash flow. Now, how do you expand cash flow? We do 4 things. We minimize taxes, we minimize debt, we minimize expenses, and then we increase credit scores, which lowers the cost of money, which improves cash flow. And we do that through an alliance with a team that allows people to get a financial edge. Everybody say you need an advantage.
You need the
An
advantage.
advantage.
I mean, if you know you started off a 100-yard dash 100 yards behind, how many of you know you need as many edges as you can get to catch up?
Facts.
And with the Financial Edge membership, write these words down: money, credit, equity, wealth. Money, credit, equity, and wealth. We have a team of experts that help people get the edge when it comes to those areas where our education has underperformed. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about this. How many of you, if you think about all the degrees that you have, all the time that you spent being educated, how many of you got Tax Strategy 101 or Credit Maximization 202 or Wealth Expansion 303 anywhere in your curriculum?
No.
They didn't
Nope, I didn't.
at Frederick Douglass High School Center for Engineering and Applied Technology, also known as?
Dude.
They didn't offer it at Duke University. They didn't offer it at my school. They probably didn't offer it at your school, but if it were available, would you have taken advantage of it?
Yes, sir.
So when it comes to what we do, because there are people already asking, well, what do we do? What's the business? What? Relax. Yeah. I'm a financial educator. So here's what I want you to know. In our enterprise, there's 3 categories of roles. We provide people an access to a team of experts. Write that in your notes. You need a team.
You need a
How many of
team.
you- check this out. How many of you know that on Monday Night Football, every night when they line up, that's billionaires paying a team of expert millionaires to play a game and have us watch, and they make billions.
Speak that. Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, you got to think about, even on our level, we have experts that do things for us. Yes or yes? I mean, how many of you would rather have an expert mechanic fix your car than you fix your car?
Mhm.
I know that it's annoying to me when they come on Friday to do the yard, but 40 minutes later, they're done doing a 4-hour job that I'll never do again. That's my yard crew. But it's amazing that we'll pay the kind of money we pay to have experts do our yard and fix our cars, but not have a team of experts to fix the thing that paid for the yard and the car.
That's good.
So MWR, we provide a team, they provide a team of experts that help people execute on the strategy. So write this in your notes. At the end of this call, I'm not asking you to become a financial expert. Say, I'm not the expert.
I'm
I
not
am not
the
expert.
Not the expert.
As a matter of fact, point at me. Say, Richard is not the expert.
Richard. is-
Richard is not the expert.
And that's good news, meaning they do what they do all day, every day. Therefore, they do it with precision and excellence. Now, what I am is a financial educator. I teach people what happened, what they can do about it, and I coach them on strategies to get them out of the situations they're in. But the majority of people, Rhonda, the majority of people that take a look at what we do, their only job when they're new is to expose.
That's it.
Now let's look at everybody on the screen. If you're listening to us right now, I want you to look at the person that invited you to this evening's conversation. What is that person doing?
Nothing.
If their camera's even on. Nothing. Let me tell you, they're doing nothing. They're chilling. Well, as a matter of fact, they're exposing. They already did the hardest part. The hardest part is just to get people to see what they never saw, learn what they never learned, and then let God sort them out. Meaning we invite people to Zoom, we remove the veil and let them decide if they want to put it back down and keep giving their check away.
That's good.
I know
But
that's
now,
right.
now let's talk about, so when people say, well, what does this team of experts do? Let's talk about what the team of experts has already done. Because I do want to get the elephant out of the Zoom up front. You can afford it. It's $228 to engage this team of experts. That's $119 a month, which is less than $4 a day. Now, let me ask the upfront question before I ask the back end question. How many of you have some mistakes in your closet that cost you more than $228?
Yes, I do.
Matter of
Richard.
fact, this is 2020. I have 7 suits
Oh
that
my-
I've not worn outside
Hmm.
because I'm wearing t-shirts and workout clothes all day. It's 2020. It's
Right. Right.
I'm supposed to wear the suits around the house.
Don't just put on a jacket and just walk around looking good to myself, right? But here's what we do. We provide a team with Money Max, Credit Max, Equity Max, and Wealth Max. Money Max are tax reduction strategies. Credit Max are credit restoration strategies. Equity Max is our debt elimination strategies. And Wealth Max is our wealth generation strategies. What word did I say 4 times in a row?
Strategy.
Strategies. Turns out the reality, the average person in America only needs a solid game plan and a consistent coach. But we've been taught that we got to figure these things out by ourselves. And you know what? But here's what our experts figured out for the people that chose to work with us over the first year. Because here's what I want people to know. We're only 1 year old. 1 year, we've been packaging this set of expertise, but here's the results that people are getting. With Money Max and our tax reduction strategies, we've helped people shift $60 million a year, that's $5 million a month, back into their household from the IRS.
Yes.
How many of you understand that your house is a better place to make money decisions about your spending than the White House?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then Credit Max, we've helped people raise their credit score anywhere from 50 to 150 points or more. I'll talk about what that means when we get into what's happening for people. And then with Equity Max, we've helped people knock off 500 million. That's $500 million in interest payments. And more importantly, 13,600 years in bondage.
Wow.
And then with Wealth Max, we've helped people save and invest 25 million that just in this year has grown another $5 million. That's a 20% return. That's when we're starting to make bank rates on our money. So what we do and what we've done for people, that's not on trial. What you decide to do after this, because as you think about the first strategy, if you think about, and let me do this, because I reached out for help earlier today. I asked if among our leaders, if somebody would just step up, help me out with our conversation today. And because of the things that he's done, I'm so excited to bring into our conversation Mr. Bernard Ponder. Now, let me brag about my friend up front, because most people don't have people like this person in their life. Meaning, Bernard is significantly younger than me. In a whole nother generation where growing long hair is acceptable, all of these things. But he is the testament to that next generation of business builders, meaning he already has a philosophy of be your own CEO, of helping people make their money, make more money, And the most exciting thing is he's always having a good time. So it's always fun to add him to a conversation because something good is going to happen. So Bernard, if you'd help talk about what Money Max does for people and then find out from people in here, because I know it's a lot of people in here that have Money Max testimonies. Everybody help me welcome. Give it up for none other than Be Your Own CEO himself. That's Bernard Ponder. Bernard, you ready?
Absolutely, absolutely, guys. Guys, before I say anything about myself, isn't Mr. Harden doing an amazing job?
Yes.
Yes. Richard is a leader's leader, a Toastmasters master, and just a great person to be around, guys. Like you just shared, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the services that we actually offer. And one of the things that I'm very much excited about is Money Max. Money Max is actually one of the strategies that allows us to be able to put more of our money back into our job, into our pockets. How many people on the line actually work a job? Just on bills or just over broke, however you want to look at it. But one of the most powerful things about what he just shared with is that once you start a home-based business, the government will allow you to actually increase your income. Somebody say increase.
Increase.
Increase and expand your cash flow anywhere from $300 to $600 every single month and be able to put more of your money back into your pockets like Mr. Harden just been saying. So the only thing that's really required is for everybody actually who does do that part, take your last 2 pay stubs, your most current tax return, download them to our Money Max experts. They're going to send you back a W-4 adjusted, because how many people actually understand that about 88% of Americans who start their new job actually fill out their W-4 paperwork wrong?
I did.
Right? And the thing is about that, it says you should adjust it anytime you have a new financial actual change in your lifestyle. You actually have a storm come through. You actually maybe get some more income. You may get a client. You start a business. You should adjust your W-4. And by starting that home-based business, when I did it back in January, I was able to bring back an extra $324 every single month since February. That has been very helpful. How many people actually can use the extra $300 to $600 back in their lifestyle?
Yep.
Mhm.
We actually have a lot of different partners on the line. If you guys can help me out and have this conversation, let our guests know actually what Money Max has been able to do for you as far as being able to shift a little bit more of your money back into your pockets.
Earl McCray, Rochester, New York, $1,200 between my wife and myself.
Wow. A comma back in the house. That's real.
Salute to you, Earl. Anybody else?
Hey, Bernard, this is Vonda Bell again. I've enjoyed it because the experts added an additional $800 to my paycheck
Nice.
Powerful.
a month, $800 a month. I'm sorry.
Nice. 800, 1,200, my little 324. Anybody else got a Money Max testimony? Okay.
Yes,
Hey, Shana.
yes,
that
Bernard, I do. Shayna, I have a testimony. I get paid bi-weekly, so I'm looking at roughly around 530 some odd dollars every month. I get back in my paycheck just in my W-4s.
Awesome.
Nice. And I want y'all to get everybody on the line who just actually spoke up, give them a round of applause. The difference is that the main thing is, I know that everybody online is probably more cute or handsome than me. I got the lowest number, but it doesn't matter, because how many people agree that everybody's financial position is different?
Mhm.
Everybody does not work the same amount of hours. Everybody doesn't get the same pay raise. So that's one of the most important things. And as you guys look on the screen, I want you guys to look to the right, is that we actually have a tracking system with Money Max. They actually track all of your different reports. And the biggest thing is the government only cares about what you actually track. See, at a lot of times we can, with this actual system, we can actually track our miles, our expenses, all of our income, and actually turn it into a tax professional at the end of the year, so we can actually get the right tax deductions. Somebody say tax deductions.
Tax deduction.
Tax deductions.
One of the beautiful things that I love is that it tracks all of my miles. I'm not sure if you guys can see mine on the screen, but humbly, about with miles alone, I'm at about over $6,000 in tax savings because I have a home-based business. I'm a manager of a U-Haul, but I do this on a very part-time basis, and it's been very helpful to myself as well. Richard, we got the next slide on the Credit Max.
Yep.
Credit Max, when it comes to credit, guys, your credit score determines how much you pay for money. The biggest thing is that this business allows you to get paid and put more of your money back in your pocket by downloading and uploading reports. See, everybody in the world has Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion report. You can get one of these for free every single year. Richard, can you get the next slide for me?
Yep.
The powerful thing is that this works for people who have poor credit. Somebody on the line says poor.
Or
and exceptional credit. This young lady to the left, if you can go back,
I'm gonna put a damn four over here.
she actually had a 356 credit score. The worst credit you can get is a 350. They took her from a
This
356
small then.
to a 501. That's about 150 points increase. Went from a 501 to a 763. I know you guys know between 500 and 700, that's 200 points.
Yes,
along.
it is.
So we went from a 356 to a 763 in about 3 months, guys. That's life goals, isn't it?
yeah,
The
Yes,
beautiful
sir.
thing about her, she's 19. Like Rich said, she didn't probably even take credit one-on-one. But the powerful thing is that one of her grandfather actually introduced her to our credit match system, and she's the first child in her family to not ask her grandfather to be a co-signer on her car. How many people want your children to have that same testimony?
yes, God, yes.
See, but also this works. The powerful thing about Financial Edge membership, it works for you and your spouse. The young lady Jessica to the left, she said that same 228 helped me increase her spouse's credit score 132, took her from a 649 to a 788, and helped her eliminate $26,290 off a credit card. Somebody say relationship goals.
Relationship.
But in this same slide here, guys, you got a sharp, amazing brother that's actually related to Mr. Richard Harden, is my personal sponsor with this business, been a mentor and friend to me for over 8 years now. I ain't gonna tell our ages, right? Because I'm the youngest one here, but we've been friends about 8 years, but he only did it. And I really respect him because he did it this way. It's because he already had an 800 credit score. See, he did it to actually be a testament to many other people like myself to say, look, you can do this too. Because I didn't even know humbly that Black people can get an 800 credit score, guys. Went from 800 to an 817, but actually his brother went from an 810, and they have him right now on a path to being at an 844 credit score. And I see Chuck actually down there showing it, but has Mr. Richard Harden on the way.
Hang on. Let's put that on spotlight. Chuck went up again, y'all. Did y'all see that?
Let's see.
Yeah, I think he's at
Wow.
23.
Oh, good job,
Great.
Hollywood. Good
All
job.
right.
That's my brother, y'all. That's
Look.
my brother.
Oh, there you go.
Good job.
Look at me. Now look at me. Now I'm cuter.
See, they say you're a sum total of the people around you. I think I just got cuter just being in the circle with these guys, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, guys, Rich is on his way to actually an 848 credit score. This also worked for people like Bert Sims. He had an 834, went from an 834 to 845 just to see if it's real. He said, what the hell? And guys, I'm not saying that. You guys can read that for yourself in his testimony. He said, I'm already working with Credit Max. I'm already working with Equity Max. What the hell? I might as well just see what the experts can do for me. A lot of us are pushing to become friends with Melissa because she has an 850 credit score. That's the best it can get. But any partners on the line, see me over the last 32 days, the creditors was able to help me increase my credit score 58 points in the last 32 days. There's so many people all on this line who actually have even more points increased. Can y'all take a second just to shoot out where you're from and what the experts were able to do for you?
From McCray, Rochester, New York. 50 points, 30 days.
Say that one more time. Your line kind of messed up, Earl.
50 points in 30 days.
Nice.
Nice.
Good job. Good job. Bonda 150 points.
Watch Bill.
Monisha Johnson from Texas, over 150 points.
Nice. Congrats.
In 69 points in less than 2 months.
Awesome.
Nice.
Monica Wilson, Savannah, Georgia, over 200 and something points in 7 months. I'm in the 700s club.
Word. There she
Get
is.
it, girl. Get it.
Those are life goals, guys. That's how many people know at least 5 people who need to improve their credit score?
Yes.
Just 5, right? Rich, what else we got here?
Equity Max, man. Debt free is a new free.
Mhm.
Indubitably. This is a good friend of mine, actually, Charlotte. She's a realtor here in the Atlanta market. And I want you guys to look at 2 things. It's in red and blue on the screen. See, you guys have to understand that your creditor's plan is to be your creditor for the rest of your life. And here, they had her in a time of debt over 111 years. I won't say the months because that's disrespectful. Because you guys think about 100+ years, that means her kids will have to be working on the debt that she has today. Nobody wants to live that lifestyle. So actually getting with the Equity Max program, they took her from 111 years down to 2 years and 6 months. I will say those 6 months. Now, the powerful thing about that is if you were working to improve your credit and I showed you a story like this, would that be a sale, or is that something that I can just tell you about and you start taking advantage of it?
Just tell me about.
See, the powerful thing about what we talked about with Credit Max, credit determines how much you pay for things or money. See, when your credit score goes up, the amount in interest payments you pay goes down. Looking on the screen, her creditors had her paying over $500,000 in interest. Equity Max dropped that $500,000 down to 2 years, of course, but down to about $12,000 in interest payments. See, it's not the initial payment that kills you, it's the interest on the back end. Good friend of ours, Actual Tequila, actually did the same thing. Trevor as well. I like Trevor's story because he's up in Virginia. Shout out to all the black men doing their thing. But the powerful thing is this man is now debt free. Last month he celebrated. We're still celebrating with Trevor. But the money that the experts actually helped him use to get him out of debt is the same money that they're actually helping him build toward his $1 million date. His new $1 million date is March 2043. And on the back end, I know Rich is going to share some of the things about how we actually make money, but that's very powerful. Richard at the same time went from 24 years in debt down to 9 years. About $500,000 in interest, way down. So the powerful thing is we have so many people all across here actually doing this. And I want to actually bring a few more people on the line. Just share what your $1 million date is and your debt-free date if you guys actually know it. My debt-free day is in the next 8 years in 2028 in May. And my $1 million date, they got me down for July 2059. Anybody else got a testimonial Equity Max?
Yes, my debt-free day is in 6.5 years versus the 3 years that it would have been without Equity Max. And my millionaire date is January 2050. And it saved me $113,000 in interest.
Wait, say that again, Mortgage. You had a sound glitch just as you said that first digit. I don't think they heard you.
Okay.
Credit is planning for you to be in debt for what?
83 years is how long I was supposed to be in debt, but now I'm debt-free in 6.5. Yes, I know. I'm so blessed. So excited. I'm so thankful for the experts to do that for me. For sure.
Nice. Anybody else have an Equity Max testimony?
Hey, Bernard, I have one. I actually had to add something I totally forgot to my Equity Max, so it updated mine. Debt-free date is March 2032 and millionaire date is 2047. So initially I had 10 years to be, debt-free, but now I had to add something else. So I'm at 12 years. So that's still pretty cool because they eliminated so many years off of my mortgage.
You'll still be excited by that time.
15 and 17 years off my mortgage is still saving a lot of money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the last part that we brought up, because I want to bring Rich back up to talk to you guys about one powerful thing that I'm actually working towards and actually why I'm sharing this business so much. But with Equity Max, it's a debt elimination plan. How many people want to just do what the name of this bill shredder does? Shred some bills. Right? See, the powerful thing about bill shredder is that we have experts who negotiate the bills that Ms. Vonderbilt talked about, that Richard talked about, is that when you start a home-based business, we turn in those bills into expenses. This allows us, our negotiators, to be able to go to bat for you and actually negotiate how much you're paying for things that you need to run your business. Isn't it safe to say that we all kind of need a phone bill, like an AT&T wireless bill or something, to run a business?
Yep.
See, a good friend of ours, Shayna, you guys can see her on the screen in yellow. They dropped her bill down and actually helped her save $330 in total savings over 24 months. It works for pretty much all bills, light bills, energy bills, gas bills, so many different things. We say just ask the experts and let them get to work on your behalf. Is that cool?
Yep.
Oh,
Guys, the next pillar that we actually have is Wealth Max. Wealth Max is that other pillar that actually helps with cash flow expansion. And first thing is actually a PRA account, a private reserve account. And I like to educate on the 3rd grade level, but there's somebody on this line way better than myself. So I want to bring back up to the line Mr. Harden to actually talk to you guys about this because he's helping so many people actually do it. And he's positioned to actually share a lot of this information. Mr. Harden, can you still hear me?
Man, I can hear you loud and clear. As a matter of fact, I was so excited about what I heard. I said, hold on, Bernard, slow down. Let's make sure that everybody's clear on what our experts have been doing for people. Because the first shift in income shifting is just shifting your money back to you, meaning your money's out there already right now. But if based on what Bernard shared, you could shift some of your money back to the IRS. You could from the IRS. You could shift some of your money back from your creditors. You could shift some of your money back from your bills. How many of you understand that starts to create breathing room so that you have room to invest with confidence? Because see, that's what I found, Bernard, at least for me, when I wanted to get into the investment world, I didn't have, not only did I not have any money left, I didn't have any extra money to sit to the side. So any questions about how all that works? So that's mission one, get people their money back. But now that they have their money back, teach them to do different things. And here's one place I want people to think about. We already talked about, most of us learned how to fill out our W-4, reading the instructions on the W-4 form, right?
Yes.
Whose advantage do you think that was in?
The banks.
It was in the IRS's advantage. And also most of us learned how to allocate our money from the banks. Now, here's what I know. This is what they told me. They said, when you get that good job, you want to get direct deposit, get some of your money in checking, some of your money in savings, and just push something off into your 401k. How many of you is that the formula they gave you?
Yes, absolutely.
And you know, write this in your notes. Your money is making somebody wealthy.
That's right.
If you're following this system, it's the bank though. Meaning if the bank that your money is in has the biggest building in your city, guess whose money they built that building with?
My money.
Your money.
Because what do they do with money? When we deposit money, they do a process called arbitrage. It's legal in the banking industry. But in East Point, Georgia, where I'm from, shawty, they call that flipping your money in the street, meaning they take our money and they convert it into financial products. They take our money, they make a car loan, a credit card, a student loan, and a mortgage. They make 6, 8, 12, 24% on our money. So the money they make on our money doubles every 6 or 3 years, but we make 0.01%. That money won't double for another 7,200 years.
Shoot.
And then if you decide that you want to borrow money from the bank where your money is, you still got to qualify. They set the terms. Your dollar can only ever do one thing for you. But with the private reserve account, imagine this, Vonda. Once I got started with WealthMax, one of the things that most attracted me was the idea that I could be my own bank. Meaning if you were your own bank, would you loan money to you?
Yes.
Would you give you good terms?
Yes.
And would you make, because that's what we do with the private reserve account. It's an insurance-backed vehicle. I won't get into the technicalities of it, but what I will say is that it grows when the market grows, just like our 401k. Except the heart attack pattern our 401k has been doing this year, private reserve account doesn't do it. My WealthMax advisor called me. He said, we can lock in your returns at 12% in this account and 14% in the other. That was what you targeted. Want to do it? Now, what does that mean? That means that the money in those accounts at 12%, that doubles every 8 years, and 14% every 6.5. That's money making money. And that's why the rich get richer. And then we get to do arbitrage because it's our account. So you can have 50,000 in, take 25,000 out to make your next investment, be a student loan guarantor, or buy a car.
What you call it is covered.
And you get to get paid. You get to do this tax free, and the money's still growing like all 50,000 is in the account. Now we should be our own bank. Does that make sense? And then you add to it land banking. Write this in your notes. The reason there is a wealth gap in America is that we owe too much and we own too little. 2/3 of America's wealth is in real estate. And real estate is the only investment that has consistently benefited from inflation. Meaning if you buy property, if you take some cash, you put it in an asset like real estate, inflation pushes the value of that property. What our experts have done is put us in a position to accelerate the growth path by being in the path of growth. We're buying in an area called Antelope Valley, California, Green Energy Valley, if you hadn't heard of it. Here's what I know. Earl and I are both real estate investors. Earl, facts. You make your money in a real estate investment on the way into the deal, yes?
Yes, sir.
So we buy 20 to 40% below market value. And then we positioned in the path of growth with that. The gentleman over there, that's Warren Buffett. He just put his new $1 billion energy efficient bus company adjacent to where we are. Northrop Grumman and Kaiser Permanente all have their new energy efficient operations. And the LA counties built the first freeway in 25 years right to where we are, because here's where timing gets really critical. The Olympics are coming to LA, 2028.
Yes, 8
And
years.
I'm just an Atlanta boy that remembers when my city did not have a traffic problem. We had 2-lane freeways and everybody could get where they needed to go. But in 1986, they announced the Olympics. And over that next 10 years, we came to be the world's largest airport, 2 new stadiums, and all of these outlying areas that people had never heard of, nor would they go. Like Bernard lives in Lithonia. Facts. If you didn't get to it by the time you got to Panola Road, you should just turn around because it doesn't exist. That's off the known edge of the universe. But now, places like Conyers, Douglasville, Alpharetta, all of them, path of growth, farmers became millionaires because they had what was in demand when supply was limited, bought wholesale, sold retail. And right now in land banking, we're averaging a 24% return over a 3 to 5 year hold window.
Woo!
That's your money
Good, that's good.
doubling every
Your money.
No money.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
So how many of you can tell I'm excited about what we do, why we do it, and the things that are happening for the people around us? And I'm not just talking about things I heard about. We get the deeds and the land, we buy wholesale, sell retail. But everything our membership does, we get taxes down, debts down, interest down, expenses down. You know, when all those things go down, your stress goes down.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you can flip it to the other side and have your investments go up, your credit scores go up, your income will go up, and your cash flow go up, your overall attitude of abundance goes up. So that when people ask you what's up, you're like, my cash flow, my income, my investment values. And then we go the next step beyond, because there is a way. So let me pause there and say, if that was all we did, that'd be enough.
Mhm.
But how many of you, if you got results like Earl McCray, where because of what our experts did, they added 1,2. They put an extra comma in your house, you tell somebody they did it.
Yes, sir.
Where if they did for you what they did for me, which was save me $276,000 in interest and help me pay off $50,000 in credit card debts. How many of you know I'd be up late and excited telling people about it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would it be okay if they paid you for it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So let me just quickly, I'm so late because I got to go to we got another meeting in 10 minutes. So let's just do this. Let me say we get paid 10 different ways and I don't have time to explain any of them.
Mhm.
Not any of them. But just imagine the shift in concept, because that's one more shift that we have to make. Is from the idea, because let me ask you this question. How many of you have a job where they expect you to do 10 different things? I just had a review from work. Anybody got a review from work? They went through 10 things that they were subjectively measuring me on for that one check. I'm sorry. I'm thankful. It's not satisfied. 10 things they want you to do for one check. But for the one thing that we do, which is help people get their money back into their lives and help them shift their income back and grow it, we get paid 10 different ways. How do we get paid 10 different ways? Well, let's just start with the first way. Let's do the simplest thing, because the main thing I want to alleviate for people is stress. Everybody say woosah.
Wow.
Somebody that when I said it costs $228 and $119 a month that was worried about creating another bill. That's not what we do. We have 3 different ways that we teach new people how to build profitable business. Write that in your notes. I have a habit of making profitable investments. So the first thing we do is with Money Max, we help people get money back so that the government subsidizes their business. Because how many of you agree that $800, $1,200, or $300 is more than $119?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Correct.
So if you had to pay $119 to get a $1,200 a month raise, how many of you would pay it all day, every day?
Every day. Yes.
But then the viral nature of what we do comes on. Like once you start telling people about what's happening for you, when 3 people sign up, that reduces the membership portion of your business to zero. So your overhead is $40. And then we are the best team in this company at helping people identify 3 people that see this the way that they do. We have broken records on this call and in this Zoom with person after person that just found 3 people that saw this the same way that we did, and then taught other people how to do that faster. Does that make sense? And the faster you help people, the faster your money grows. And here's the best thing. Your promotions in this, they're not determined by other people. It doesn't matter who likes you, who reviewed you, who doesn't like the way that you talk. You do the work, a computer promotes you, and your pay is according. It's not one of those things where you get a new title, but the money mysteriously doesn't show up. You feel it. Makes sense? So anywhere from an extra $10 to $75 in leadership bonuses every time you help people do better than you did when you started.
Nice.
And then we don't have to be crabs in a barrel, because anybody that you personally enroll, you'll always make a percentage of what they make.
Yes.
And the best thing is, as you help people, the company takes things off your plate. Imagine this. If you got to the place where you'd helped just 15 people create a sustainable business, they said, scoot over, Richard, I'm gonna pay your car note. That's tier 1 bonus, $500 a month. Could $500 cover your car note? You don't have to buy a new car, they cover the car you got. And then could an extra $1,250 help with the car and the mortgage?
Oh man.
And then eventually you get to $3,000. Does that take care of both of them?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
So that accelerates the process of shifting your income, because now you have more of it left. And I'm not just talking about they would theoretically pay it. I'm talking about that's Yaz Anderson. How many of you see Yaz Anderson down there with her profile picture, but not her camera on, but that same dress?
That's my girl. That's my
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. Junior Keir Smith, that's somebody that looks like somebody, you know. This is one of my best friends in the world. I just told him about what we were doing. He said, yeah, this is how we're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got my younger brother right here at the $1,250 a month. I just want you to know, it's not just that they have the theory of the bonuses. It's real people earning the bonuses. Am I making sense?
Yes.
And we get the blessing of learning from the people that did it already. How many of you know, if you already knew how to make $45,000 a month, you would make it.
Right.
That's right.
But we're learning step for step, word for word, a system for growing and building ourselves. And this business is really just a personal growth program with compensation attached to it.
Mm.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Then we get into the category of presidential bonus. It's just additional pay, meaning an extra $500,000 to $100,000 a month. And here's what I know about people. It doesn't matter how much money I show that you stand to gain.
Mm-hmm.
What's most important to most people is not continuing to lose money. Matter of fact, it's Warren Buffett's #1 rule in wealth accumulation. Don't lose money.
No.
Right.
Mm.
So at the end of this conversation, because this is the end of this conversation, because my best friend, Sean Hill, has another presentation in 1 minute. It's only 3 categories of people that listen to the information we share. And they're all on the Zoom, and it's good. Meaning this is only a sort process, meaning everything, somebody has to choose how they'll be paid for the rest of their life.
That's good.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Number 3 person says, I'm out. My status quo is acceptable. My credit score is as good as I think it'll ever be. My cash flow, my investments, everything's doing things the way that I want it to go. I've got $1 million trust fund set up for everybody that has my last name. If you're number 3, this is what I want to do. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for showing up, because it is actually one of those things where there's probably somebody in your life that needs exactly what this does to get them to where you are. So refer this to people, let them know it'd be good for them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Number two, Vonda says, I don't know if I want to build another business right now, but I do know that I need to get a team on my side to take the stress of getting my money back off my plate. I want the membership to get my cash flow back and get my cash growing. And for those people, it's only $79 a month. Text that to the person that invited you. Say, I'm a number 2. They'll send you a website and a link. You'll go get the Financial Edge membership. Scroll down to the bottom, click the green button that says become a member. When you do, this form will pop up and it'll populate with all the stuff you've been ordering from Facebook and Amazon. You click sign up now, it takes you to the portal. Set up about 30 minutes with the person that sponsored you to walk through getting onboarded, getting the right documents so that the experts can go to work, getting your money back to you. Everybody tap yourself, get the money back to its original source. And then the last category, they're number 1. What's the number 1? The number 1 is somebody like myself, like Vonda Bell, like Bernard Ponder, that said, I see it all and I want it all. And more importantly, I want to give it away to other people. Right. I want all the income streams, but I also want to put people in a better position to come out of 2020 than they went in. Because I already know it's harvest season. It's October 2020. This year has been nothing like we thought. It might have been just what we needed to get mad, get focused, get our money back, and then put the money to work. If you're number 1, They'll send you a website link. Leave all these boxes checked. This form is going to auto-populate. Vonda, you know the place where most people get hung up?
That business
At the bottom
name.
of the application, there's a green button that says join now. But just below that, you got to click this checkbox and sign the squiggly signature so that when you get to the dashboard, you know how to drive your business. Now, when you get to this screen, text the person that sponsored you, I'm in. They'll put you on a game plan. Literally, our system has generated more success, more income than any other place in the business. And we're learning from the best of the best. You get access to a team of experts to help you shift your cash flow and a team of experts to help you build your business and your business income. And you get a system designed to grow you into a master of your money so that we create this nation, debt-free millionaires asking different questions. Because just take the people on this Zoom. Take 100 people, get them out of debt completely with $1 million liquid. We get to $100 billion personal bank. We get to ask different questions. We don't have to ask what we're going to do about housing and healthcare and education reform. Once we got our money making money, we get to ask what can't we do?
Right.
So you now have the knowledge. They say knowledge is power. Not true. It's applied knowledge is power. Decide what you're going to do to apply what you learn. Let us know. We'll see you on the beaches of the world, but not at the bank, because you'll be your own bank. This has been Richard Harden. That's Bertie and Richard's biggest baby boys. My plum pleasing pleasure, as well as my privilege, to welcome you to the movement. Peace up. A-Town down.
A-Town down.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Great call, guys.
Good night. Great call.
Mr.
Thanks,
Vonda.
Vonda. Thanks, Bernard.
Mr.
Thanks,
Vonda.
Richard.